Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm with my girlfriend Ella, and she's going to be rating every single one of my Amouages. I'm just going to pick them one by one. It's not in any order, it's not in any ranked list. And we're going to start with the original Interlude Man. I'm going to try to keep this relatively short. I'll talk a little bit about the scent profile. Ella's just going to give you a little rundown on if she likes it on me, how she thinks it smells, and what it reminds her of. So the original Interlude is a very oriental and spicy profile, I believe from 2012. It was perfumed by Pierre Negrin and is very infamous for its oregano note, which is green and spicy. So this is known to be sweet, spicy, and smoky. I love this stuff. I have all three, actually all four interludes now. The oregano here is definitely the main note. It's very spicy, it's sharp. So that is something that kind of is off-putting to some people.
I'd say it smells pretty good. It smells spicy. I do like it on you better than in the bottle, but that's what like most fragrances. But I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention is that on paper, Ella doesn't like pretty much any Amouage that she's ever smelled, but on me, she's liked a lot more of them. They have a lot more depth than they do on paper, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Staying with the Interlude line, we're going to go with Interlude Black Iris. So this was made in 2020, also by Pierre Negrin. This is a very similar scent profile, except they take away the oregano and they're adding basil and orris. So it's a little bit darker, less spicy. It's not as green. I don't like this as much. If I had to rate these, I would give Interlude probably a 9.9 out of 10. I think it's a masterpiece, and I would give Interlude Black Iris around a 9.3 out of 10. So let us know what you think about this one.
This one, it smells almost the same as Interlude Man, but it's like a little more black licorice-y. I haven't smelled this one that much, so...
Yeah,
but...
I don't wear this one too often. I like the original a lot more, but I would say the main difference is that without the oregano note, this one's darker, this one's a little bit sweeter, so this does have kind of a more base-heavy licorice type note. Alright, now we have the extra version of the Interludes. This is Interlude 53. This is a 53% oil concentrate of the original. Same perfumer, same scent profile.
Okay, this one, it smells more like Interlude Man than
Interlude Black Iris.
Interlude Black Iris. And this one's like, it's not as strong as the other ones.
Yeah, so
are.
A lot of people might be confused by that because usually with a higher oil concentration, you would assume that it would be stronger, but it's kind of the opposite. The sillage with higher oil concentrations is lower, but the complexity with them is higher. So when you wear it on skin, it takes many more hours to unfold. Compared to like an eau de parfum or an eau de toilette, it doesn't project in the air as much, although this is still a very strong perfume. I think this is a masterpiece of a perfume. I would give this a 10 out of 10. So I want you to rate all the three interludes that you've smelled so far, starting with the original.
Interlude Man, I'd say like an 8.
Okay.
It's not bad. Interlude Black Iris, I kind of liked it more, so 8.5.
All right.
And then
Interlude
this one,
53.
like a 7.5.
All right. Next up, and the last from the Interlude family, is Interlude for Women, or Interlude Woman. So this is an older batch. It has Interlude written on the sides and the base of the cap. I have no clue who perfumed this. I don't think it was the same perfumer, but to me, it smells very sugary and tart in a way that cranberry juice does. Cranberry juice is kind of tart, sour, and bitter all at the same time, and sweet. So I get a lot of that. And then there's this very ambery kind of animalness that I get in something like a Zoologist Camel or Zoologist Civet. Ella's not super familiar with that, so I'm gonna give this to her and see what she thinks.
I would agree a little bit that it smells like cranberry juice. It has like a juicy tartiness, maybe rhubarb. No, not rhubarb, but like something along those lines.
I think there may actually be rhubarb.
It's pretty good.
So what would you rate that?
Probably 8.
I think this is amazing also. It's a little bit hard for me to wear. I would give this in like a 9.7 out of 10 range. Now, obviously I own all these bottles, so I'm going to love all of these, but our ratings are going to be very different for a lot of these. Next up is Meander. I think it was released in either 2020 or 2022. I get this very earthy, almost watery iris note. There's carrot seed in here. The color of the bottle, this kind of pale green, is a really good representation of what the smell is. I pretty much just get a very earthy iris and kind of watery dewiness, and we're gonna see what Ella thinks about it.
I think it smells like a vegetable, like a watery cucumber, some sort of vegetable.
There's a lot of sandalwood in here, which is kind of giving it this creaminess. Okay, I would give this 10 out of 10 as well. I think this is beautiful. I know she's gonna
give it like a 6.
All right, so you don't really like this one as much.
I just like wouldn't wear cucumber or vegetable.
That makes sense. All right, next up is our first discontinued perfume on this list, and this is Imitation Man. This was a 2017 release. I don't remember who perfumed this, but this is very artistic. With all these fragrances, we're smelling them from the cap, but if Ella can't smell them very well, then we're just gonna spray it. So this one she's having a little bit more trouble with because I haven't worn this a lot near her. So Well, it's strong. It's really strong. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I get. So this has this very weird kind of lacquered vinyl plastic accord, but it's also sweet. It has this, a lot of rose. It has myrrh. It has castoreum. There's a little bit of a weird kind of rubbery animalicness. So what do you get from this? Okay, not good reactions.
It kind of makes me want to gag a little bit. Not okay. The first, it was just overpowering, but like, I don't even know what that smells like.
To me, I also, adding on to what I said, I get kind of this overripe pear with brown sugar, and then mixed with rose, and then that very plasticky vinyl. Wow. Yeah. I think this is also a masterpiece, so I would give this a 10 out of 10. What would you give it?
4 or 5.
Okay. We're just going to spray the rest of these, and I'm going to save some of the weirder ones for the end of the video so Ella doesn't really get overwhelmed. So let's start with Decision. This is one of my recent pickups. This was perfumed in 2025 by Canton Biche. He is a very famous perfumer now, known for Akigawa wood, and although Akigawa wood is not listed in here, it's definitely prominent. So I'll spray it on here. We'll just do 2 for each perfume because they're all very strong. And I've kind of described this in one of my recent videos. This smells like, if you can imagine the back rooms, those weird old yellow office rooms. It kind of smells like a musty office room mixed with this bourbon vanilla. And the combination is more unique than people like to say that it is. And I think it's beautiful. What do you think about it?
I like it. I don't know what it smells like though. Maybe a little musty.
Yeah.
But not like to the point that I'm like grossed out by it. I think it smells pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of people think this is one of the more mass appealing Amouage perfumes of the last decade or two. And even though a lot of people like this, some of the older Amouage fans are a little bit mad because they think that compared to something like Reckless Leather or Figment Man, it's kind of basic in a way. Would you agree or no?
Yeah, probably.
All right. What would you give it out of 10?
I give it an 8.
This is what I'm wearing today, by the way. This was my scent of the day. I would give it a 10. I think this is beautiful, and it's not as complex as some of the other ones, but it's really well done. Next up is Epic Man, and this is a 2016 batch tester bottle, so it doesn't have it written anywhere. So the main problem about Epic Man that you may hear nowadays is that it's very weak juice.
Very strong.
Yeah, with my batch, luckily I got an old batch. This thing is really strong. What I get with this, I get a lot of spices, I get a lot of castoreum. It's green, it's a little bit leathery. It's not funky, but there is oud and leather and castoreum. So what do you think about it?
I do think it smells a little bit funky, a lot funkier than the other ones. But I can definitely smell like the green stuff, whatever.
There are a lot of unconventional spices in here, like mace, myrtle, and a lot of those things which are not very typically found in perfumes. But this is one of my favorites of all. I mean, they all are really, as Ella will know. I talk about these nonstop, but I would give this another 10 out of 10. I think this is a perfect perfume. What would you give it?
Give it like a 5.
5, okay. Okay, next up is also another older bottle. This is Journeyman. I got this secondhand, so it's a little bit scratched. But as you can tell, with the older bottles, they had the writing on the side and on the base of the cap. You can see it there. So, Journeyman, I think this is also perfumed by Pierre Negrin, who perfumed the Interludes. When I first got this, I was not the biggest fan. Well, that's not entirely true. I could understand its artistry, but I also thought it smelled a little bit like barbecue sauce.
I don't know where you're getting that, but
this has a combination of Sichuan pepper, spices, tobacco, and a lot of tonka bean. So it's spicy, it's sweet, and it's a little bit dense all at once. I think it's great. I would give this probably a 9.7 out of 10. Let's see what Ella thinks about it. One thing about Journeyman is that a lot of people say that it's one of the more easy to wear perfumes from Amouage, especially from the Christopher Tong line. I completely disagree. I think this is actually kind of weird and complex, but let's see what Ella thinks.
It's pretty spicy. That's what I got. I don't think it's bad. It's just very spicy, more masculine.
So what would you give it out of 10?
6.
Next up is Amouage's Lyric Man, which is another one that I didn't love at first. I bought a sample of this, a 2 ml sample, and I thought it was one of the most basic and almost boring perfumes from Amouage. Now that I've worn it a bunch, it's definitely not basic, although it is cleaner and more easy to wear than some of the other ones. So this is primarily a musk and rose perfume. The rose here is not very jammy. It's not as dark. Even though this is for men, I think this is pretty unisex. Some people even think it's leaning feminine. It kind of smells like rose petals. There's a watery quality in here as well. There's a lot of musk, and there is this very piercing lime note that is a good counterbalance to the musky note.
I can definitely smell the rose in this. I personally think it's a darker rose. I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking that because of the bottle, but I think it's a very good rose fragrance.
What would you give it out of 10?
7.
This is one that I think when I first sampled it, I'd probably give it a 7 as well. And of course, this climbed up to a 10. I wore this a couple days ago. It's just a really, really easy to wear, but also beautiful rose perfume. All right, next up is another rose and incense perfume, but this is very, very different. This is Amouage's Rose Incense from their Opus collection. This is my favorite perfume of all time. Like, nothing has beat it since last year when I smelled it for the first time. I get this very sugary and jammy rose. God. Yeah, every time I smell this, I'm like intoxicated by it. It's just such a beautiful perfume, and there's a lot of myrrh. It's very Middle Eastern smelling. It's heavy, and this is one of the longest lasting perfumes in my entire collection. On my skin, I get, no joke, probably 24 hours of longevity, and it's strong too. I wore this on a plane like 3 weeks ago, 3 sprays, and that was probably a mistake. You know, I was probably airing out the plane, but I was having a great time. So let's see what Ella thinks of my favorite perfume of all time.
I can definitely smell the rose and like the cedar wood, whatever wood is in it. It's definitely more of like a lighter fragrance to me than Lyric Man. Like, it smells.
That's crazy.
For some reason, it smells lighter.
I mean, to me, it's the complete opposite. Lyric Man, it's not weak to me, but it's definitely kind of a watery, light rose fragrance, and this is dense.
To me, Lyric Man's more dense than this.
So, yeah, of course, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 because it's my favorite perfume of all time. What would you give this?
An 8.
All right. Before I put this away, I'm going to give my famous rose incense description. So to me, this smells like rose Turkish delights with powdered sugar and vanilla, and also a little bit of ink thrown in there. That's a very basic and, you know, not great description, but if I had one sentence to describe it, that's how I would describe rose incense. Next up is a perfume that I got today. This is Purpose 50, also perfumed by Canton Biche, and some people think that this is similar to Decision. I completely disagree. Purpose 50 is a little bit of an odd perfume, but it's really beautifully done. It's spicy, it's a little bit smoky, it's green, but it also has this rounded vanillic and creamy aspect to it. So it's already been on this tester strip from earlier. So what do you think about it, Emma?
To me, it smells like a eucalyptus essential oil, which is weird because he doesn't smell that at all. But I smell that with this one in
the original Purpose,
yeah. Which is weird. But
so what would you rate it out of 10?
I like eucalyptus oil, so I'd say like an 8.
When she said eucalyptus, I mean, it didn't surprise me, but like, I'm happy I don't get eucalyptus because that's one of my least favorite scents ever. I get much more of a spicy and green character wrapped in this kind of waxy parchment paper. I think this is beautiful. This is another 10 out of 10. Although, funny enough, I think I like the original Purpose a little bit better. Next up is a perfume from 2023. This is known as their very citrusy perfume, and this is Amouage's Search. This is a very weird and interesting combination of lemon peel and cane oil. Cane oil is this very dense and smoky character. Of course, lemons are sharp, a little bit zesty, and sour. Despite being a citrusy perfume, this is one of the strongest perfumes in my entire collection. If I had to describe this in one sentence, it would just be a lemon tree burning on fire. What do you think about this?
To me, it smells like the strongest lemon that you've ever smelled in your entire life. That's it.
So you don't get any of the cane oil, none of the smoke? I mean, to be fair, again, with all these Amouages, she smelled most of them on my skin, but I also don't wear a lot of them around her because they're too strong or too weird. But these all change a lot more on skin. And next up is probably my least favorite from my Amouage collection, although I still love it. By the way, I would give Search probably a 9.7 out of 10. What would you give Search?
I'd give it like a 6.
Okay. So this is Honor Man. This is also from the Christopher Chong era, but this is a very, I don't want to say simple, but I guess more easy to wear perfume. This is just lots of pepper and lots of elemi. So again, to me, it's not simple, but it's also a little bit more simple than some of the other ones. I get black pepper, I get pink pepper, and I get lots of elemi. Which, if you don't know, elemi is a sweet kind of sticky resin. A little bit similar to Tonka in a way. So what do you think about Honor Man?
I have no clue what this smells like, but I kind of like it. I can't really tell if I like it or not. I think it's okay. I don't really know how to describe it though, because it doesn't smell like anything that I've really smelled before.
Yeah. That makes sense. Also, I think that the bottle is almost a little bit misleading. For example, Honor Woman is this very clean and floral tuberose perfume. And then you smell Honor Man, you're thinking it's going to be kind of a clean, maybe white floral scent like Reflection Man. And this is very peppery, a little bit more dense and resinous. I would give this, I think I said 9.6 out of 10. What would you give this?
Probably a 6.
Next up is a 2022 release from the Opus line. This is Royal Tobacco, perfumed by Cecile Zarokian. This got famous for its tobacco and licorice combination. The first time I smelled this, I hated it. The resins are extremely sweet and kind of syrupy in here. The oud, tobacco, and licorice combination is very unique, and it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. So this took me about a year to come around to. Now it's one of my favorites. This one is really, really powerful. So it's going to take some time to unfold on tester strip, so I'm going to pause this for a second and we're going to smell it and then come back.
I used to hate this, but I do say I like it a lot more now. It's like spicy, very spicy, like it hurts my nose. And I smell vanilla. I don't know if vanilla's in there, but
I think there is some vanilla.
I do smell like something sweet. I don't know if it's vanilla or not, but I do smell something sweet, and it mixes pretty well together.
You're smelling vanilla, but also there are a lot of resins in here. They can go very sweet and vanilla too. The one thing that I think is a little bit funny is that there's oud assam in here, which is this funky Indian oud, and it's not too prominent in here, but in King Blue and Silver Oud it's very prominent. She hated it in both of those.
Yeah, I can't smell it as much in this one.
Yeah, but that is something to keep in mind. If you're scared of animalic ouds, then don't be scared to sample Royal Tobacco. So I would give this a 10 out of 10. What would you give this?
An 8.
Not bad. All right, so we have about 3 more before we get to the really funky ones, or I guess challenging ones. This one is Amouage's Boundless. This was one of the first creations that the new creative director created, I guess, as Amouage's creative director. So this was perfumed by Corinne Vintron-Spenner, who is one of my favorite perfumers. She also made Figment Man, which is one that I really have been wanting to get a bottle of. Boundless is this extremely spicy and heavy vanilla perfume. It's super sweet. People say it's wearable. I mean, it definitely is wearable, but it's definitely more complex than people like to say it is. It's very spicy. It reminds me of Dr. Pepper mixed with vanilla, mixed with some spices like cumin and other stuff like that.
This to me smells like one of those Coca-Cola gummies that you eat, or like Coca-Cola chapstick. That's kind of what it smells like to me, but it's good. But it's a little, something's off though about it. Something's off, but I can't tell what it is.
I would just kind of assume the spices or tobacco. There's tobacco in here. Maybe that's the off-putting note that you're smelling, but there definitely is a lot of vanilla, and there is a very fizzy quality that I say Dr. Pepper and you said Coca-Cola, so it's not just me, and a lot of other people get that too. I would give this another probably 9.8 or 9.9 out of 10. What would you give it?
7.
Next up is my last exceptional extrait. This is Jubilation 40. This thing is an absolute masterpiece, and I think really all of these are, but this is one of the most breathtaking perfumes that I've ever smelled. This is honey, blackberry, oud. It has a lot of resins, it has a lot of fresh spices, but it's not a funky oud in here, even though there is a lot of oud. With this being 40% oil, I'm going to give this some time to rest before Ella really smells it and then gives you her opinion.
He's lying. This thing's funky. It smells like butt. It smells like poop. But there is like some. It's better than Silver Oud with the poop, I'd say. But it has that similarity. So but there's something else there's something sweet in there that makes it slightly better.
I don't get the fecalness that she's talking about, although it is very heavy. You know, the oud is dense. If you're not used to oud, then it's definitely something that I guess you should be aware of, which is a good thing that she's here, because I like the funky things. You're really seeing the point of view of like a normal person with normal taste. To me, Jubilation 40 smells a little bit like blackberry jam and pine tar. So the pine tar is kind of green, dense. The blackberry jam is what's sugary and sweet, and like none of those are mentioned in here, but that's what I think it smells like. Would you agree, or do you think it just smells like poop?
It smells like poop.
Alright.
It's something sweet.
I would give this a 10 out of 10. I think this is an actual masterpiece. What would you give this?
3.
Alright. The last from the, I would say, not too funky collection, which I guess Ella clearly disagrees with, is Enclave. This is a weird combination between this cooling and sugary mint and then this warm and deep resinous amber. The only real drawback with this perfume is that it's a little bit synthetic. There's this amber extreme note, which is a synthetic amber. Obviously, amber is synthetic because it's not a real accord, it's made up. But that syntheticness is the only thing holding this back for me, so I get this cooling mint, this warm sugary amber, and then this really nice rose. And the only issue is that it's mixed with that synthetic amber note. But this thing, it smells beautiful in the air, so I would give this about a 9.7 out of 10.
Me, this smells like peppermint essential oil. That's all I really get.
Yeah, there's definitely heavy dose of peppermint in here. So if you are someone that doesn't like mint, then definitely stay away. A lot of people say this smells like toothpaste. Would you agree or disagree?
No, it smells more like a plant.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely does not smell like toothpaste. Also, I just want to let you know, I have a lot of samples that aren't full bottles of Amouages, but I don't want to overwhelm either of our noses today, so we're going to do that possibly in a different video. So today is just going to be the full bottles. So I would give this a 9.7. What would you give Enclave?
5.
Okay, the last 5 bottles are going to be slightly funkier bottles. I'm going to go with what I think is like the least funky out of all of these. This is Overture Man. Overture Man is this beautiful composition of cognac and cumin. To me, this reminds me of Christmas. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but if I did, I think that this is what it would smell like. It just has a lot of warm spices. It smells like cookies being baked in the oven, mixed with something a little bit spicier, a little bit more raw. There are listed animal notes in here, and the cumin in here is definitely not for everyone. Now, I love cumin in perfumes, but if you're not used to cumin, this is something that may be challenging.
To me, I kind of get that Christmassy vibe too. I can smell like a Christmas tree near a fireplace with pine cones and like some sort of like spicy cookie in the background. But there's also like a little mix of poop in it, and it kind of smells like some sort of animal, like a reindeer, like shit somewhere. I don't know, but
would you say that this has a well-balanced composition of like sweet spices and then animalicness, or is it too animalic to where you would never want to smell it on someone?
It definitely has a balance for sure. Like the poop didn't come out right away. It took me a second to smell it, but if I smelled this on someone and it wafted towards me, I feel like I'd be able to smell poop and I'd be weirded out.
With Amouages, their magic is revealed in the air, on skin. So up close, a lot of these have some more funk, some more animalicness. In the air, this definitely does not smell as animalic, as fecal as Ella was describing. And same with, you know, what's coming up, Silver Oud and King Blue. They have a prominent fecal aspect, even to my nose. But in the air, they smell beautiful. I would give this a 10 out of 10. This is currently my 5th favorite perfume in my entire collection. What would you give this?
I give it a 5. It's pretty in the middle.
We have 4 more left. This is Reckless Leather, also from the library collection. So Amouage's library collection is their experimental collection. Reckless Leather is top 3 perfume of all time for me, possibly. This is extremely spicy. It's very rugged. It's leathery. It's a little sharp. It has this creamy and green quality. I describe this as the smell of a curry or a cooking stew, and I can smell the salt and the pepper, and it's also very savory, almost like you can smell the meat simmering in it. Very odd description. Most people don't want to smell like this, which is why this may be getting discontinued in the future. But to me, Reckless Leather is absolutely phenomenal, 10 out of 10, and a masterpiece of a perfume.
To me, it does not smell good at all. The leather is just too strong for me. It like overpowers and it gives me a headache almost. And whatever else is in it just does not mix well. And I love curry. I do not get curry at all in this. I just smell too much leather.
I didn't expect Ella to like this. It's actually rated like a 3.3 out of 5 on Fragrantica. So clearly it's one of the least mass appealing Amouage perfumes. It's definitely one of my favorites. So I would give this a 10 out of 10. What would you give it?
2. Maybe 1.
That hurts a little bit, but it's understandable. We're going to move into the Oud Assam category. So I'm going to start with the easier of the 2 oud perfumes. This is King Blue, again in their library collection. The library collection all has these same bottles, but the darker colors are from the Oud collection. So Silver Oud and King Blue have these darker colors. King Blue is Oud Assam, which is this funky, weird Indian oud. Definitely not for everyone. The first time I smelled this, I actually gagged, which is funny because I have a $550 bottle of it too. Same with Silver Oud, I almost threw up. Up close, this is really fecal. It's almost manure-like. You know, that's kind of the best quality of Oud Assam. In the air, this smells like marmalade. It smells like jam. It's very sugary. It has almost this blueberry kind of character. It's beautiful. I would suggest not smelling this up close when you first smell it, because it definitely has that very pungent and animal quality when you're up close. So what do you think about this?
Really like King Blue, but only in the air. To me, it smells like a blueberry muffin in the air, but then once I get close, it smells like blueberry shit, and then it grosses me out. But in the air, I think it's really nice.
I would give this a 10 out of 10. What would you give this?
An 8.
Okay, not bad.
But only in the air.
Only in the air, right. Second to last perfume that I'm going to talk about today is Silver Oud. This is definitely the more animalic, the more challenging of the ouds. However, luckily for Ella, kind of unluckily for me, I got an easier to wear batch. Now, she's not going to believe this because to her this smells like straight up poop or manure or something, but my batch is sweeter, woodier, and more vanillic, mixed with that obviously very pungent oud. In the store that I tested this the first time, it was so dark and animalic and barnyard-like that I really did gag in the middle of the store, and my eyes were watering, and I actually started laughing because I was like, there's no way anyone likes this stuff. And a year later, I have a full bottle of this. I already know Ella doesn't like this one. I wore this like a couple of days ago to the gym, which is such a stupid idea, by the way, but I was having a blast. First of all, look at how heavy that oil concentration is. So yeah, this is extremely dark, animalic, dense, smoky, charred, ash-like, but it also has this very beautiful vanilla in the air, which it takes time to get to, maybe 4 hours into the wearing, but once it lifts, it's really beautiful. So let's see what Ella thinks about Silver Oud.
It just does not smell very good. It smells like manure. That's what we get.
The thing with a lot of ouds, first of all, it takes years of smelling them to really appreciate them. The more Middle Eastern or Indian Assam ouds I did not like. Now I can't get enough of them. If Amouage released 5 more of these ouds, I would buy every single one. I absolutely love it. But definitely I can understand it's not for the beginner nose. I would give this probably a 9.8 out of 10. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 is because it's so challenging to the average person that I can't wear this ever, really. When I wore it to the gym, I was kind of looking around my shoulders to see if anyone was, making any faces at me. So what would you give this?
A 1.
This was Silver Oud. We're going to go on to the last one. This is Figment Man by Amouage. Right now, this is my number 3 perfume in my entire collection. This is just such a complex and gorgeous artistic scent, and again, not for everyone. In fact, not for most people. This is also one of the worst rated Amouage perfumes on Fragrantica. This has this very earthy, wet, soil-like character mixed with listed animal notes, but it's also so sweet and so addictive to me, at least in the air, and I think that this thing is a masterpiece. Let's see what Ella thinks about it.
To me, it smells like pee and poop. I don't know. Porta pot vibes.
That's it for all the bottles in my collections. We'll do a separate video ranking or rating the Amouages in sample form that I have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.